Good afternoon. And welcome to Padre's Ponderings. Oh, you did it last week with Jonathan.
Yeah, I did. You were among the missing, but Jonathan and I, we hung in there.
Oh.
We hung in there. Jonathan was a worthy fill-in.
I like that. This could turn into like Johnny Carson's show where you just have a surprise guest.
A surprise. I like that. Surprise. I didn't watch much of Johnny Carson. He comes on a little late.
Yeah, that was a late night.
That was a late night. Yep. Not doing that. So anything exciting happening with you?
There's a lot of stuff going on. I got a great email I wanted to share. I don't know if you were on the copied part or not. In the month of February, on the historic campus, our docents welcomed 1,098 visitors.
Whoa.
In February.
1 month.
In February, that's not...
That's over 250 a week.
That's not a high traffic month either. So, that I was like, wow. And they're not even open every day.
No. So imagine you move into the springtime and Heritage Week, all that kind of stuff, it'll be swamped. That's great. Wonderful. Big ministry.
It is. And if you're interested in learning about the church or being a part of that ministry, they're looking for help so that they can have more hours and days available.
Yeah, it's a special ministry, really is. But the church is just a kind of a focal point for Bluffton, and people want to come and see what it's about.
We get emails, several a day, typically, asking about the grounds and having an event and all that kind of stuff, which, because it is beautiful. What do you tell us is the most photographed, one of the most photographed churches in South Carolina?
The most in South Carolina.
In South Carolina.
Yeah, who provides that statistics? I want to say it was Southern Living or something like that.
They're pretty reputable.
Yeah. But anyway, how they get that statistics, I don't know. How do you calculate how many people walk by and take a snapshot or something? But anyway, if it's not with as much attention as Bluffton is drawing, it will be, for sure.
Yeah. So thank you to Mitch Brock, who heads that ministry and scheduling and all of that. So.
Wow, 1,098 visitors in 1 month.
Yeah. February,
short month too.
So today, pancakes.
Tonight.
Fat Tuesday.
5:30.
5:30 to 7 at the school. Yep. We were just talking about the logistics of it and parking, and I think there's a first soccer game going on at the same time. So if you're coming tonight, you're going to want to park on that side of the parking lot so that this side can be for soccer, and then we'll have the door open and $5 a person or $10 for a family.
Big deal. You're not going to eat at Cracker Barrel for that.
No, you're not. You're not going to eat anywhere for that.
Or McDonald's or anybody.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere. So the men they've already brought in a bunch of stuff yesterday and preparing for that. So hopefully we'll see a lot of people tonight for SHROVE Tuesday pancake dinner, which means tomorrow is?
Ash Wednesday, Historic Campus, noon, chapel, 7 o'clock.
And we haven't had an Ash Wednesday service with the
ashes.
Imposition
of
ashes in 2 years.
Yep.
We had a service last year, but we didn't do the
ashes.
ashes because that's not 6 feet.
That's right. Couldn't pull it off. But this year, and invite folks to come, and then of course at 2 o'clock at the Nathan will have.
So we've got noon at Historic, and 2 o'clock at the Cross Schools Gym. That one will not be a very quiet one, just because of the number of people, and the children have not experienced. A lot of them have not experienced a service before, because it's been 2 years. So if you're looking for a very quiet, somber time, maybe go to the noon or to the 7 o'clock service here.
And the 7 o'clock service will be streamed, but you can't get ashes over the internet.
That's hard.
So if you're looking for ashes, you got to come. And there'll be a communion at both those services too. I don't think they have a communion at the school, but we will. We will for ours. And then we've got Bishop Ken Clark and Helen coming to town this weekend.
Yes, Bishop Clark's going to be preaching. at the historic campus on Saturday, 5:28, and 8 and 10 on Sunday. And then on Sunday night, Marriage Matters is going to be in the school gym and with a children's program, and we've already got some kids signed up for that. And
Great.
it's free, guys.
It's a meal at 6
It's a
o'clock.
meal, a hearty meal. We're having Olive Garden and program for the kids. And
Meals at 6, programs 6:30 to 7:30 for children and adults. Everybody through at 7:30. Be great. Be great. Looking forward to Lent. And black cassocks, purple stoles. All the windows will be closed on the historic campus. A time for introspection. Get in touch with who you are. Got my sermon ready for tomorrow. I'll be preaching at both those services. It's about the ashes. We'll talk about Hawthorne a little bit. So.
okay. So tomorrow, big day. This is Sunday. Big news from the food bank yesterday.
What is that?
They added on a second shift for people getting off work and giving out food, 4:30 to 6. And they had close to, I think Craig said close to 40 people came through last night.
Now, how about in the first part of the day?
That was
afternoon?
regular.
170, 180, somewhere in that area.
And then had that,
So you had those extra
40.
ones. So it's surely worthwhile doing that.
absolutely.
Great.
So that was exciting. That was the first week that they had tried that. It didn't cause traffic problems, which is always a concern on the Parkway and 278. Didn't have any problems with
I had an
that.
exciting day last Thursday.
Last Thursday, okay.
Got in the car and the change oil light came on.
Oh,
And it says dismiss. Well, you know, there's a lot of buttons.
oh no, what'd you do?
So I went all day with the change oil light going, and your mom showed me how to do it that night. And then the next morning rolled out there and the fuel light came on. Need fuel right away or whatever it says on there, you know. So I got the fuel, and today I've got your mother's car, and she's getting
You're
all,
gonna get it taken care of.
she's getting the oil change for me. And she told me don't mess with this and don't mess with that. And
So you just get
in
in,
her car, you get in and move it.
push the button and go.
You got to move. No, you got to hit that first button to get that seat back.
Oh, because she's got
Otherwise-
little legs.
Oh, my
Otherwise you
goodness,
would be like this.
You can't even get in with unless you run that seat back. But that'll be good. And it drives it. But those brakes are really, they just jump in that car. So, but it's a great little car. She loves it.
So if you see a little navy blue Buick on 278 or on the Parkway this afternoon going, slamming on the brakes, that's Padre.
She's going to come by and swap cars.
Oh,
sometime-
she's not even
sometime
gonna let you
today.
drive
I'm
it home.
not- No.
Sorry,
she's-
Alex, it fell out my pocket.
She's much protective of that, so. But that's great. That's great. But everything's going great. Praise the Lord. And how about what's the thing on the floor down here about?
Oh, you know, I'm fond of my dog.
Really?
Yeah. I'm really not a dog person, but I do love my dog. A friend of mine, actually Kelly Williamson, she works with the church part-time and she works at Cross Schools as well, doing their development. And she's an artist on the side.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. And then she painted a picture of my pup.
How did
Isn't that
you
something?
give her a picture to go by or something? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is pretty special there.
Isn't that neat? Watercolor?
It's water. I thought it
It
looked
is.
like
It's
crayons.
watercolor.
No.
So if you're an animal lover, or you're looking for a gift for an animal lover, then I will pass along her information for you.
But you're not going to pass
But
them on the
soon-
picture.
You can't
though.
have my dog, but you can get one
Get your
of
own
your
picture.
own.
Get your own picture. Yeah.
She actually has had, she did a painting, I can't remember what the animal was, if it was a dog, for Chip and Joanna Gaines.
What?
Yeah. I'm like, I didn't even know. I work with you every day.
For Chip and that's the
Magnolia.
Home Alone people. No.
No, oh, what's the name
Home
of their
Network.
Yeah,
Yeah, your mama
Yeah.
fixing up.
Fixer Upper.
Fixer up. Okay.
Yep.
She watches all that. The schoolhouse, they did just one. Homework was the name of that one, and they bought this couple bought
Oh, like an
with
old
7
school?
children. They bought an old school and redid the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
And so it must have been 8 or 9, 10 episodes. Each episode was a room. So, yeah, she likes all that.
The trouble with watching the shows is that then when the show is over, you're sitting in your home and you're like, well, we need to change that and that and that and that.
No, of course, she's got it fixed like she wanted. I've got that written down somewhere.
As a reminder.
This is my perfect home or something like that. Don did a great job with that.
Yes. Josh finished his Wednesday night teaching, so not tomorrow because of Ash Wednesday, but next week Jonathan's starting his. 2 different ones. So 3 weeks on God of Wonders. And he said in the service there's a video that he uses with whales and stars that he's going to be bringing back, and he's excited because it's going to be recorded.
Oh.
He's done it before, I think he said like 7 years ago, but it wasn't video recorded, so he's excited to have it recorded. So that's March 9th, 16th, and 23rd. And then 2 Wednesday nights before we get into Holy Week, and it'll be What is the Gospel? And both of those will be in the chapel at 7 p.m. A lot of people tuned in and watched Pastor Josh do his teaching on Paul, which was excellent. If you didn't have an opportunity, that's on the website, archived. You can always go back and watch those.
That's a good thing about streaming and all that. It's archived on there. You can go back and catch it anytime. If you miss one episode, you can go back and it's just like a TV show.
Got an email from the diocese, actually, that they were asking if the Marriage Matters is going to be recorded. It might be something that we want to share with the diocese. And it will be recorded as well.
Yeah, and we can do that. Even though it's going to be on the school campus, we can stream it, just like we do at 10:30. Making any progress on the 9 o'clock service?
Target date is Palm Sunday.
Getting people signing up for it?
We have
To serve?
people signing up to serve.
Great. Find a source for donuts?
Not yet.
Supply chain.
Supply chain.
Supply
It's
chain.
actually more employees, lack of. But we're working on bringing back the donuts at Cross Point.
Yeah, I think that'd be wonderful. I'm still working on a schedule, how we work through all that to make it happen. 'Cause
I know,
it's like
with
3 campuses
clergy.
when you do that. It's
Right.
like 3 campuses, because we can't overlap anywhere. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Just don't have it figured out yet.
Pondering that one.
Yes, very much so.
Pondering.
I've got to put in a way that you can sustain it. Yeah,
Right,
that's the
because you
thing.
guys do have to have some
When we
weeks
started,
off.
we can't. When you started, you can't drop it off. You're talking about run through the whole summer and all that. So, and I interviewed a special fellow yesterday. Did you meet?
I
David
briefly
and-
met.
And Caitlin?
Yes, I briefly met him Sunday after service.
Really enjoys talking with them yesterday, and I hope that'll work out. That he'll be the 5th person in that team. We'll complete the team.
So
the
that was,
faith formation.
and that was mentioned in your video. Well done. That came out on Thursday about building the faith formation team at Cross Schools.
Now that's that's archived on there too, so people can. If you haven't seen that video, you ought to see it, because it does speak about last year, many blessings, and looking ahead to this year too. So, lot in the works. That faith formation program, every child, every day in the gospel, from the teeniest ones right up. It's be wonderful, wonderful. Nathan's doing a good job with that. We're blessed with Nathan and Josh and Jonathan and Tom and David. Tom will be working with me for the noon historic campus ashes service, and David will be tomorrow night. And then Josh and Nathan and Jonathan will be doing the school service.
School.
I'll take 3 of them to do that. It'll be wonderful.
Yeah, we just had a meeting about that, how we're setting up chairs, and because you have hundreds of people are going to be coming up. But do you do a large cross?
Well, some forwards are smaller than others.
I know, but but some of the crosses stay the same size.
No, I don't do a huge one.
You don't?
You know, that's the point of it. But I do need to check with the altar and make sure they got the ashes over there for me. And we'll mix them up.
We have
Restore
ours
it.
waiting from last year.
That's right. And
because we didn't do
We'll
it.
mix them up over there and then bring it over here to that evening service.
Nathan was explaining to me the mixing of the ashes, which I had never really thought about. But if you put too much oil, if you don't put enough oil, like just there's a balance. And so he's going to be mixing our ashes over at the school campus.
Yep.
So it's just right.
Just right.
Because you don't want it dripping.
No, and the oil is chrism oil that's used for baptisms, and you don't want, you got to have something.
So
in
it's
there.
already blessed.
Otherwise, you got to have something in there to bind the ashes together. Otherwise, they just
Like
just
chalk.
disappear. Yeah, they don't adhere, and that's not helpful for anybody. So, but you put that oil with it, and then it gets there. It was great. So, what else is happening with you?
Well, a lot going on. The annual report was a large undertaking that Elizabeth Markle and I were working on the past
Now that's
2
on that's
weeks.
archived as well, right?
That is on the website. I printed off a hard copy to give to the historical committee to archive, and a digital copy, because I think they're wanting to move towards digitizing their things. So that's done. So now we're moving on to Holy Week preparation.
Yep. And how's that prayer service coming? Are you working with
That's
that?
what we were talking about before I came over here.
That's the Wednesday night. Monday's on the Bluff.
Monday, noon on the Bluff, which you've done for how many years?
Long time. That's a good
That's
service.
a pretty service. That's a great service.
And then Tuesday,
Tuesday, it's not on the
New-
website yet, but it's the Daughters of the Holy Cross are putting on a quiet day and a lunch that day.
Quiet
So
morning, right.
information will be coming out about that to sign up. Anybody can attend that. It's just prepared. The preparation is the Daughters of the Holy Cross. Wednesday
And that's the first
evening-
time we've done that.
During Holy Week, for sure.
Yep.
They've done quiet days in the past, but
Yep.
not during Holy Week. And then there's a evening prayer service. Well, it's a prayer service in the evening
Yeah.
on Wednesday. Stephen Ministry is going to be involved in that, helping with that. So excited about that opportunity for them. Thursday, we haven't done this in 2 years either.
That's right. Foot washing and communion on Monday, Thursday.
Monday, Thursday service. Last year we had a service, but we didn't do the foot washing. So this year we'll bring back the
And that's 7
The
o'clock
foot
on
washing.
Monday, Thursday, and then
at the
Friday.
historic.
Friday is Stations of the Cross, noon, historic, and that's very traditional, Stations of the Cross. And then 7 o'clock that night with all the contemporary readers and all that, and that's here.
Right, and streamed.
And streamed, that's right. Now that's the only Holy Week service that will be streamed.
That's right. Because the majority of them are on historic campus.
And then we'll do, the Easter services will be streamed, not
From
from the
here.
historic. But we will have, this service will be just like the historic campus services, so it'll be streamed and people have a view of what that's about. Brass and big music and
Oh, we
all
left
kinds of
out
stuff.
sunrise service on Easter.
Easter morning, 6
So
o'clock.
we'll have 5:28 Easter service, which will be an Easter service.
Be a full service,
Right,
5:28.
just like the morning.
5:28 and 8 and 10 and 9 o'clock here will all be the same service. Big
So we'll
festival.
have
Eucharist.
5:28 sunrise service on the Bluff. Easter's a little bit later this year, so we hope there's a little bit of a breeze. It was cold last year.
Yep.
Sunrise, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock here, 9 o'clock at Cross Point, 10 o'clock at Historic, 10:30 at Cross Point. 7 services.
Yep. Praise God. Praise God. That's wonderful. And I hope we'll have a loaded up pack of people. It's sure a great time of year for that. And I don't think, even though the Heritage Golf Tournament matches up with Holy Week, that's going to be on Hilton Head. I don't think that'll impact much.
Yeah, I
On
think
what
it'll
we're doing.
actually, as we were talking about the docents, I think it'll actually bring more visitors to us during the week, and perhaps, especially on the sunrise service, might bring more visitors
Well, it might.
to
It surely might.
our campus, especially the historic campus.
Yeah, it surely might. Hadn't thought about that. And they come 6
And
o'clock
they can-
service or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and they not even miss the golf.
Right, no.
That's great. And the children getting all excited, and I see some trees starting to bud out there. That's why I put on this green sweater.
Little green sweater, Papa Green. The pollen is on my car, so that's coming.
It's too early for pine pollen.
Well,
what are you getting now?
I don't know.
But you got yellow?
There's yellow. It's on the pond. It's on the windshield.
So we'll just get used to, for a while we'll have the people hacking around and all that.
Yeah. Well, we have tissues in the pews.
That's right.
We're good.
Got them, both campuses. Tissued up. But you know, it could be pollen outside, but you're not going to get much of that in here on the inside.
No.
Must be good.
No, but it always cracks me up in the parking lots, people that aren't from this area. It's almost like the snow banks or snow drifts in the parking lots up north and Midwest and everything. When it snows, there's like these little drifts of snow. Well, for us, it's little drifts of pollen in the parking lot. It's wild if you're not used to it.
Yeah,
But then comes all the beautiful
it all pushes together.
flowers and foliage and all of it.
A lot of flowers are blooming too early. They're blooming now.
Yeah. That's okay. We have a flower guild that does an amazing job. Easter will still be gorgeous.
Had a wedding Saturday.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
I saw some pictures.
You did?
I did. It was beautiful.
That flower, Stephanie and the Flower Guild people did a great job with that. Altar Guild people. You know, as you move into all these services, all those folks pitch in. And Easter will be real special with flowers. No flowers during Lent.
Right.
But they have a big blowout for Easter. Looking forward to all that too. And then last night I went by to speak to the discipleship group that was finishing up last night.
Yes, that was that last night.
Yeah, they have about 28 to 30 people involved with that, and enjoyed visiting with them for a few minutes. Mike and Yvonne were coordinating all of that. They had other people help them too, and that was real special on the historic campus. There's just a lot of things happening all the time in it.
We had worship service in here Sunday night.
That's right, night of worship. Tom led that, and Jody from the historic campus was coordinate that music part of that.
And we had some from the chapel service, so Billy helped arrange that.
Yep.
And
very blessed with all the things happening in it, and I think I'm seeing fewer and fewer masks now in the worship services. Every now and then see one, but fewer and fewer of those. And every service that I'm in, there's some people there that it's their first time back. You know, they're just gradually easing, tipping their toe in the waters, make sure everything is okay, and that's wonderful. You know that the streaming is wonderful if that's the venue you have to be able to worship. But if it's not, you need to be in the fellowship of people and sort of for them to come back. And that's the first thing that I just missed being here. They didn't miss worship.
yeah, we're called to be in community.
Here amongst the people and all of that. It's great to see them coming back. But it's great too that we've got the technology. If people can't come back for health reasons or whatever, that's there for them. Met a person at the program last night that they were in Colorado or somewhere like that, and they knew they could move in here, and so they started following our
We
stuff
get that often.
on the web and all that, and now that here they are. They were looking for a church home before they ever came. That was part of their deal. Live in Margaritaville. So,
They have houses the color of your sweater.
in Margaritaville, I've never been in there.
I haven't either. We need to take a field trip because I'm so curious. I
Are
know.
you a
I know
Jimmy
that
Buffett fan?
Not really, but the golf carts have fins on top of them, shark fins.
Really?
He has a song about fins.
Wow. So everybody in there's wasting away.
I hope not.
I hope not too. But that's the deal. Flip flops and margaritas, I guess, is what it's about. But They say it's really nice. The folks that
Yeah,
went
it's
last
very
night, they
nice.
really enjoy it. A lot of great people there. But it's the same way in Sun City. There's
Sure.
the people are outgoing and all that, and
Involved in a lot of stuff.
oh yeah. And I think that's one of those things. It's a active. Both those are active retirement communities. And because that's an adjective, there must be some that are inactive. That don't have all the activities and all the rest of that stuff that.
I can't remember the exact number, but it's like 600 clubs at Sun City alone. Now there are a lot of people there too. They have an Ohio club. I know that some people from Cross Point go to the Ohio club. The Buckeye Club is what it's called. Then there's an Italian club, and they go out to eat once a month. Marjan
The young man that graduated, or that I talked to yesterday, graduated from the Pennsylvania State University.
Oh, yes, the.
So, yeah, nice young couple. So what else is happening? What's that sign on the bottom down there?
I just got this from Cross Schools. They're having a Wear Green food drive for St. Patrick's Day. So they're going to be contributing donations to the food bank. So to wear green that day, this is clever. You just bring in a canned food item.
I like that.
To wear jeans, so non-uniform, and green. You bring a item for the food bank, and that's an easy way. And you guys can do that too when you come to service. Just bring a can.
Is March 17th a Sunday this year?
No, I don't know exactly what day March 17th is. Must be a school day.
Well, so it's not a Sunday then.
No. But any
Boy, you
Sunday,
sharp figured that right out, didn't
any
you?
Sunday, you could bring a can.
Oh yeah. And people are really good about that too.
And this week, you're going to see in the e-news, it's going to talk about they're doing a special Easter breakfast box for the food bank distribution. So they're going to be asking specifically for pancake mix and syrup. There's a certain size they need to fit into the box. So that'll be in the e-news this week to prepare the boxes in advance. They need to have them before they need them by the 9th to prepare the boxes in advance for special Easter breakfast for the food bank families.
That's great.
They're always thinking of
See,
new ways to bless
big
our
ministry.
community.
Big ministry. Happy for it.
And getting bigger.
Yep. And there are some that would say that's surprising that in an area that's seemingly as affluent as this one, that you would have such a need for folks looking for food.
And with the grocery prices are just going to continue to go up. I was there yesterday picking up just some items for last night, and it was almost $100. I'm like,
It was
so to be able to share we know the needs are just going to continue to grow.
I told you about my gas gauge, getting down to get gas. Got gas that same afternoon late, and it was $50.65.
So with rising gas prices and food and everything else, we know that needs only going to continue to grow. So if we can bring items, then let's do it.
Amen.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do you want to leave us with? What book are you reading? Give us some
I
wisdom.
just finished up another book on Moses, an article more too. I'm trying to.
Does that mean you're going to be doing a teaching or something
I'm
on
thinking
Moses?
so. Maybe after Easter. Tom was going to do something there, and he's going to be going to California to see his daughter, and I'm happy for him and for Terry.
Absolutely.
So I was thinking I might jump in there and do 4 weeks on Moses. You wouldn't be able to do it all, but you could, in 4 weeks, you could hit a few highlights in there. So just reading, there's a lot of information out about Moses, and what I'm looking for is the places where they overlap. What are 4 or 5 or 6 different authors and historians and archaeologists, what do they see as high points? And so if you hit where 4 or 5 people say the high points, some of them are going to start to cross over, and so you can get what would be the high, and hit that. How many times did Moses go up the mountain?
Was it 3?
I read in the book I just finished 7 times.
7?
7 times. Have to read carefully to get that. 7 times. Yep. So I have to go back and. So I mean, there's just different ways of looking at that, and it really is pretty tricky. You had to get a lot of information, and they kind of gave him the law. Well, the book of Deuteronomy is all the laws. All that came from God. Moses wasn't making that stuff up. Well, he didn't. It took a few trips.
I'm in my Bible reading plan, going through the Bible. We're in Numbers right now.
A lot of numbers in Genesis. It's interesting how the different people are trying to figure out how many people actually went to Egypt to start out with, and how many came out, and when exactly did the Exodus take place. And there's about a 250-year gap in there where different people are saying that it couldn't have happened under Ramses II because of blah, 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 and no, it did happen there. And it's really interesting, and because everybody has their own points that validates why they are, but everybody can't be right. 250 years is a big gap, big gap. It's not like, was it on Monday or Friday of the week? It's 250 years. So it's just really interesting to read that, and all of what the archaeologists are discovering, and how more and more what they discover backs up what the Bible is saying, and very, very interesting.
Almost daily, something is coming out about Israel, that they have found something, and it completely validates what's in the Word.
And the 12 tribes, they believe that they have found the tombs of the sons of Joseph's brothers. They found the tombs of those, because they were all, they die at a time when Joseph is still the number 2 man.
They would have been
so they all
honored.
the Egyptians honored their dead, and because these were honored people by Joseph, that they have like these miniature, they're not shaped like pyramids, but it's the same basic idea of death places. And the archaeologists believe they have found that, really in the land of Goshen, where they should be. And they found one larger one amongst the 12, but it was empty. Joseph was not there.
Because his bones were not left there.
Joseph went back home. Yep. So anyway, those kind of interesting, neat little things. I don't think I'll talk about that, but it's interesting to see how different people read the same scriptures, and come up with different takes on it, and particularly interested about how secular archaeologists are confounding themselves, because it's starting to line up for them and get into carbon dating and all that kind of stuff, and it just really is neat. But I won't be talking about that. I'll be looking at the Bible stuff. But I'm thinking more and more I might do that. We'll see.
Yeah, in my reading today, they were just told you're going to be wandering because you disobeyed.
Yep, that's what disobedience does, is you wander about.
Yeah.
You wander about. When you're wandering about, you're always grumbling. And they do a lot of grumbling in the Exodus. You know what makes you grumble? Memories. You grumble about today. You don't grumble about today unless tomorrow is a reference, or yesterday is a reference point for you. Your grumbling is invariably about, I wish I had what I used to have. See? But if you don't have a used to, then there's nothing to grumble about. And the trouble is, we grumble because the further away we get from yesterday, the more vague our memories become, and the more embellished the past becomes, and the darker the present looks. So, but that's another story. But
they were grumbling about leeks and cucumbers.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But I'm working on all that.
All right. right, so grumbling is because of our past, so focus on today.
Grumble is comparing the present to the past. You grumble when when what you had in your own mind does not match up to what you got.
All right, well, we'll end on that.
That sounds good to me.
Focus on today. Pancake dinner tonight. Nothing to grumble about with that.
No.
All good. And then we hope to see you this week at some Ash Wednesday services, Sunday services, weekend services.
Bishop Clark's.
And Marriage
Preaching.
Matters. If you're
Marriage
interested in
Matters, yeah.
Marriage Matters, go ahead and sign up so we
And
can
they
get.
need to sign up for the meal, right?
We need to sign up for numbers. So if you can get that in as soon as possible, that would be greatly appreciated.
But now, if you're not coming for the meal, you don't have to sign up. Is that it?
Just sign up anyway,
Yeah, okay.
just so we know how many places to set.
Okay, great.
Yeah. All right. Well, go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Blessings to y'all.